So we are super blessed around this time of the year to have these tomatoes that we wait all season for. These are not your typical hothouse or greenhouse variety. These are grown outdoors in southern Alberta at Mulner Farms. They let them mature over the whole season, and right before the frost hits, they harvest these and then they're available for a couple weeks only. Because of the hardy kind of growing environment, it seems to make them much more sweet and much more flavorful. So we're gonna make a tomato tart. Very simple, but will be perfect to kind of showcase the flavor that these tomatoes have. I'm using one of these tart pans that have the bottom that lifts out of it. That's going to make it very simple for us to remove that crust, that tart shell afterwards. You can buy buttered puff pastry and it comes in sheets quite often, which is going to work great because there's no rolling involved. Simply unroll the pastry and we'll get it onto our tart pan. Okay, so once I've got the pastry kind of formed into our pan relatively nicely, we are going to pierce the bottom of it with a fork. Of course, we're using puff pastry, so it has a tendency to want to puff up really, really high. And of course, we like that texture, but on the bottom, we want it to stay a little bit more kind of consistent or uniform. The pierce of the fork will allow the steam to escape and it'll have less of a jump up. And then grab yourself a piece of parchment paper and we're just going to line our pie crust. Along with piercing the crust, we're going to add these weights to our crust, which during the cooking process will again keep it from jumping up too much. All right, so this is ready for the oven. We've got a 400-degree preheated oven. This is going to go in there. We're going to give it about 10 to 15 minutes and then we will remove the weights, which will allow our bottom to get nice and crispy as well. And while our crust is baking, we're going to get our cheese filling ready. So I'm going to take 1 block of cream cheese and get it into our food processor. I'm going to add about a 1/4 cup of whipping cream to start with, about a teaspoon of kosher salt, some black pepper, and we'll give this a blend. Okay, so this is doing quite well, but we're going to add just a smidgen more cream just to kind of lighten it up a little more. All right, so you can see this is the texture that I'm kind of looking for, very light and fluffy, very creamy, and that's going to be a great base for our herbs and our garlic. I'm going to add 1/2 clove of garlic and blend it just a little bit more to save me some time. All right, so now we're going to transfer our cheese mixture into a bowl so we can fold in our herbs. We're going to add a little bit of lemon zest to our cream cheese. That will give it a great flavor. And then we have a little bit of dill, rosemary, and fresh basil. I'm going to chop this up and fold it into our mixture. And we'll fold all that together and we'll get that into the refrigerator. Okay, so there's our beautiful tart shell. We're just going to let this cool for a few minutes and then we can start assembling our tart. So I'm going to start by slicing some nice thick slice of the field tomatoes. So we'll cut just the top off. And just to give you an idea how beautiful, these are ripened right to the core. That little bit of white there is just from the actual stem, but you'll see on this next cut that the color and the juiciness is out of this world. So we've got some nice little red cocktails that we're just going to cut in half. Also beautiful. I can't deny that these ones are also very beautiful cocktails. Whipped herb and garlic cream cheese. Follow this by I'm going to put some of our larger slices of tomatoes on there. Gently pushing down. This is looking great. Okay, so this is our delicious looking late summer tomato tart. Beautiful, crispy puff pastry filled with a whipped herb and garlic cream cheese, and then we've topped it with our unbelievably sweet tomato. To finish our tart, a mixture of fresh herbs plus a sprinkle of flaky sea salt really brings it all together. Thank you for watching.